What's the accent?
These are Scotskin.
You're like a royal guard.
Slightly Scottish somehow. I've slightly turned Scottish. I live in the Highlands of Alstotska. It's a blend between Russian and Scottish.
Hello everyone and welcome back to your show for all things gaming and really tech related, Gentoo. I'm Garrett Bevans.
And I'm Jonas Pelot. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Gentoo, so let's see what games are releasing this week. Wild Hearts is a unique twist on the hunting genre where technology gives you a fighting chance against fearsome beasts infused with the ferocious power of nature itself. Survive their attacks, learn from their behaviors, and use your technology and weaponations in a combination to cut these creatures down to size. You can even take on these creatures alone or hunt with friends in co-op. Wild Heart releases on February 16th for PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5.
Dust and Neon puts a single cowboy against an army of robots in this fast-paced, roguelike action twin-stick shooter set in a futuristic Wild West. Play as a mysterious gunslinger as he embarks upon an epic quest full of twitch-trigger, precision gameplay, armies of menacing robots, and incredible boss fights. If at first you don't succeed, try again with dozens of unlockable abilities, thousands of unique weapons, and game-changing performance boosts, all of which turn your hero into an unstoppable force. Dust and Neon releases on February 16th for Switch and PC. Now, let's see some other news in the gaming sphere that you may have missed.
The Nintendo Direct happened on February 8th and talked about Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime Remastered, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, and more. If you missed it, we've got a summary of lots of the big stuff.
We got a new trailer of Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom game still set to be released May 12th of this year. Also, after years of rumors, Metroid Prime Remastered is actually real. If that wasn't exciting enough, Nintendo is releasing the game same day as its announcement on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Physical copies of the game will also be available on February 22nd. You'll also get a better Pikmin 4 trailer and a release date on July 21st of this year.
Nintendo also confirmed during the Direct that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games will be headed to Switch via Nintendo Switch Online the same day. All Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have access to the Game Boy games, while those with the expansion pack will get access to Game Boy Advance games.
These games also support local and online play with friends. There'll be more games added in the future as well.
On January 18th, 2022, Microsoft announced its intent to buy out Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. This acquisition will include games like Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Call of Duty, and even Candy Crush. The Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, said on Wednesday that the biggest ever deal in gaming would result in higher prices, fewer choices, and less innovation for millions of players, as well as stifling the competition in cloud gaming. Microsoft said that it would address the CMA's concerns.
In December, the United States moved to block the deal, citing Microsoft's record of hoarding valuable gaming content. The Federal Trade Commission has set a hearing before a judge of August this year. Microsoft has pledged to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but the acquisition of Call of Duty would give Microsoft control over one of the most successful gaming franchises in history. This could limit the options available to players and limit innovation in the industry. Some fear that this could result in a less competitive gaming market with fewer choices and a reduced drive to create better and more diverse gaming experiences.
However, others believe that Microsoft's commitment to gaming and its track record of delivering high-quality games that will ensure that Call of Duty will continue to thrive and evolve, regardless of who controls it. Ultimately, only time will tell how the acquisition will impact the gaming industry and the future of Call of Duty. That's all for the gaming news this week, so make sure to check out the games in the description below.
Also, while you're down there, hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons to keep up with Gentoo every week.
Let's get on with the gaming packs.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Digital Digestion. This week we'll be digesting one of the most unfortunate characters in a horror game franchise, Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. Side note, while I do know the remake of the game just came out this year, I can't justify dropping $70 on it, so the footage will be used from the original series from 2008 and 2011 games. However, the content ahead may be disturbing and gruesome to some viewers. It is a gory and graphic horror game, so I am giving you a heads up now. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it this week or maybe skip ahead. Now, that being said, let's dive into Isaac Clarke. So what makes Isaac so special? Is he some super soldier that has intense training or special modifications to his body to make him better? No. Maybe he's a great leader who can motivate anyone and lead charge into battle, saving souls. Nope, not that either. Isaac Clarke is your basic, everyday human thrown into one of the worst possible situations out there. Isaac Clarke is an electrical and mechanical engineer sent to help repair a ship in space, with his girlfriend on board as well. Of course, since the title Dead Space indicates anything, things don't go according to plan. Enter the Necromorphs, an alien infection hell-bent on taking over humans to further expand and better their own species. So you know, a pretty bad deal. Now, as I said, Isaac isn't someone extraordinary. Yes, he has a high IQ as a mechanical engineer and electrical engineer, but that's about it. As I said, basically a normal guy. Heck, even one of his weapons is one of the tools he uses, a plasma cutter, used to not kill aliens, but to just do his everyday job. This is where I think Isaac shines, especially as protagonist for a horror game. He is crafty with what he has and makes the most out of every horrifying situation he's in. On top of that, he does everything. Literally everything. Now, these necromorphs belong to something greater, called markers. These markers are trying to make a brother moon, which can lead to a horrible event that can kill everyone. So you know, not good. Also, his willpower and determination makes it a pretty easy guy to cheer for. The basic human spirit and the will to succeed and survive just makes it a pretty easy guy to root for. Pushing on and pushing back against the necromorphs, fans of the series point out how much of a hardcore hero Isaac is, taking bumps and showing the aliens who the boss man really is. Of him fighting off some monster alien zombies, surviving death multiple times, and having dementia with all the horrors that he's seen in his life, maybe you don't quite feel for the guy just yet. Okay, fine. Take this last thought into consideration. Ellie, another girlfriend that he saves and he loves and cares for, dumps him for another guy a couple days later after Isaac saves her. So you know, there's that to keep in mind as well. That does it for this week of Digital Digestion, and that was Isaac Clarke from the Dead Space franchise. If you have any characters you want to see me do in the future, let me know down below and I may look into them. Now, to lighten the mood a little bit, here's Isaac Clarke using a foam finger as a gun. See you guys later.
KZLX is a student-run radio station where Northwest students have complete freedom during their shifts. KZLX also hosts mini radio shows such as Nerdmageddon, Revive, Day-to-Day Picks, and more. To learn more, visit kzlxfm.com.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News.
Hey guys, we're filming behind the scenes for Creative Services. Come check it out. Here with Creative Services, our job is to promote KNWT, give you an in-depth look at our crew members, and shoot behind the scenes of all your favorite shows.
This is KNWT.
And we are
Creative Services.
Jonas, what is this getup?
His only greatest Ostotkin outfit.
Got it. What is Ostotska and what is his accent you're doing?
Ostotska is greatest country on earth.
You're like a royal guard. This is kind of cool. It's kind of impressive. This is
I have but one job.
Okay.
Your papers, please.
In cash? I mean, I can give you
No!
You gotta pay me back.
I am an officer of the state. I will not be bribed.
I'm not
You
bribing
shall be
you.
detained.
I'm not bribing. Jonas, what are we? Oh. Oh, that's my face.
Glory to Ostotska.
My name is Gabriel Lozano, and welcome back to 10 out of 10, where we go over the best of the best video games that are truly 10 out of 10s. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Subnautica. This game starts off after your massive interstellar spaceship you're living on, the Aurora, crash lands on an unknown alien planet. With no other known survivors and no land in sight, it is your goal to survive with the minimal knowledge of this scary yet beautiful planet. Throughout the game, you'll be forced to go deeper and deeper into the ocean to craft better tools that could potentially save you from this situation. But you'll realize pretty fast that the ocean goes a lot deeper than you might have originally thought. You'll constantly find yourself thinking you found the bottom, but believe me, it probably gets deeper. As you explore, you'll find scattered pieces of technology, tools, and even massive parts of the Aurora that have sank to the bottom. These pieces of tech can be scanned and recreated to help you navigate and survive. By scanning new items, it allows you to unlock more things, such as vehicles, upgrades, and even blueprints to build yourself your very own shelter. As you begin to swim around this unknown ocean, you'll quickly learn how diverse the many different ecosystems are. Every place you go feels new, and this is just one of the reasons Subnautica is so much fun. I personally have never played a survival game that has made me jump more than this game has. And I know that sounds silly that a simple ocean survival game could scare you, but the giant drop-offs into nothingness and the distant noises of giant alien leviathans will always keep you on your toes. Subnautica is one of those games I wish I could go play for the very first time again, because that feeling of not knowing what's out there will never fail to terrify me. And believe me, I'm not the only one that has felt like this.
Let's go! Let's go! I'm dead!
Many survival games allow you to defeat your enemies and become the most powerful, but Subnautica restricts you from becoming too powerful, and the game reminds you time and time again where you belong in the food chain.
Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
On top of this game just having a great sound design, rewarding gameplay, and it sometimes being absolutely terrifying to play, there's an entire story for you to discover. As you swim around, you'll find abandoned logs that tell the story of other survivors that weren't as lucky as you. The more you explore, the more you'll learn about the people of the Aurora and the secrets of the planet you crash landed on. And I don't want to give away too much about this planet, but all I could say is I had a blast exploring it and learning about its secrets. Subnautica isn't your everyday survival game. No matter where you are in your playthrough, this game will always have you coming back for more. And this was another episode of 10 out of 10. I hope to see everybody next week.
Welcome back to The Price is Free. I'm Evan, and this week we're talking about Dishonored, the game where you kill people with rats after being betrayed by your allies for the Empress's death. While the assassination of the Empress was totally not obvious, the real conspirators are even more of a mystery. While the setup to the main plot may seem a little cliche, the two main villains are actually pretty good, and I couldn't wait to assassinate or blow them up. The first loyalist you meet is Samuel, a boatman who picked you up after you escaped prison. He then takes you to the loyalist hideout, where you'll meet the rest of your comrades, upgrade your equipment, and prepare to restore your honor. Your hideout is in an abandoned part of the city, overtaken by rats and abandoned by the government. Lord Pendleton and Admiral Havecock are two men of royalty who seem to be on your side, but need to be watched. Empiero is your mechanic. He'll fit you with upgrades for your next mission and gift you your own assassin's mask.
Just hold still, fit must be precise.
While the loyalists are pretty cool, the most interesting part in the early game are the dream sequences. The Outsider is a man who you meet in your dreams, but kinda sucks, giving you the Outsider's mark, which gives you your supernatural abilities, but at the whim of the Outsider himself. Blink, your first ability, and personally my favorite. It allows you to teleport so you can quickly move in and out of combat. And Dark Vision, which pairs perfectly with Blink, making those awful stealth runs a little more bearable. Enough of superpowers, though. It's time to talk about collectibles, everyone's favorite thing. While collectibles can be a pain in the butt to get, the in-game mechanic of the beating heart is pretty unique, but it ruins the fun of finding hidden items because it tells you exactly where everything is. But the real fun is finding out new and interesting ways on how to assassinate each and every one of your targets. If you want to be a sneaky assassin or a crazed psycho killer, why not give Dishonored a try? Kill or don't kill to your heart's content. Because that is the true beauty of Dishonored. That's it this week for The Price is Free. Tune in next time when we delve into the dungeons of Dark and Darker to get our loot on.
KNWT for Hire is all about sharing a story, a message, and connecting the community. We cover a multitude of events, both within the university and Maryville. We roll in, we set up, and we capture. We're here to offer an experience, not only for those present, but for all.
Hi there, and welcome to Loosely Related, the show with a new guest every week. I'm your host, Jackson Weddle, and this week we have Alex Kurt joining us, the man for all things audio here in Wells Hall.
Welcome to Mustard's Monthly Mayhem. My name is Jacob Mustard and I will be your host for this segment. In this segment, we will review the free games provided by the basic subscription to the PlayStation console. I will conduct an in-depth review of each game from the 3 free monthly games, taking into consideration their ability to tell a good story, how easy it is to play, how good the graphics are, and more. The first game we will review is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Fallen Order was released back in November of 2019 and had a lot of initial hype built up around it from the Star Wars fanbase since it was released around the same time as Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker, and it was seen as the next big game in the franchise history. Let's see if the game lived up to the hype. When you first start playing Fallen Order, you will be introduced to the main character Cal Kestis. He is one of the last Jedi that is hiding from the Inquisitors. Cal has been hiding on the planet Bracca for 5 years as a scrapper for the Scrapper Guild. Fallen Order is often compared to Dark Souls as they both have a storyline to follow with side quests. Fallen Order is the easier game to play but allows you to choose what difficulty you want to play, ranging from Story, Jedi Knight, Jedi Master, and Jedi Grandmaster. The storytelling of Fallen Order is well hashed out as it takes place 5 years past the Clone Wars when all the Jedi were supposedly executed. Cal's main mission is to find the Jedi holocron that will tell him the names of the people who are still Force sensitive, allowing the Resistance to rebuild the Jedi community. Overall, with the single-player game and a set storyline, there are enough side quests along with the main mission to keep a player interested. The overall playthrough time would roughly take 15 to 21 hours if you just played the main mission, and about 31 hours to complete the game 100%, including all the side quests. Fighting in this game can be seen as both good and bad. Cal's character is not very fast, which means you can get punished if you overextend into the backlines of the enemies and cannot retreat fast enough. This seems to be a way to prevent button mashing and making the user learn combos and playing more defensively when going into fights. Cal is not a godlike character where his abilities will defeat any and every enemy that is put in front of you, and while this takes some time to learn, once you get the hang of parrying oncoming attacks and countering off of those, the game is more rewarding. Not all combos or attacks are available to Cal to start off the game, and they will have to be unlocked from the skill tree. The skill tree has 3 different paths which are labeled as Force, Lightsaber, and Survival. You get skill points from XP and can put them into abilities to unlock them. These abilities will unlock at either 1, 2, or 3 skill points. The biggest complaints about this game come from the cosmetics and the quality of life aspects. While there is a detailed map, there are no fast travel stations like most games, and you can easily get lost and spend upwards of an hour retracing your steps to see where you went wrong or just to find your way back to the ship. It happened to me. The cosmetics are lackluster, and since they are the only loot you can get from chests in the game, there's not a huge desire to go out of the way to obtain these items. Overall, I had a lot of fun testing out this game and look forward to comparing my experience in this game to others. With this being the first review, Fallen Order will take the top spot in the rankings as I give this game an overall 7 out of 10. Next week, we'll see if Ollie Ollie World can dethrone Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Welcome back to Indiana Jonas. I'm your host, Jonas Pelot, and today we're reviewing Papers, Please, another one of my favorite indie games of all time. So, let's get cracking.
Glory to our Studska, and welcome to Papers, Please. Papers, Please is an award-winning indie game developed by Lucas Pope. The game is set in a fictional communist country of Arstotzka. Papers, Please is a document thriller where you are thrust into the position of a border guard by the labor lottery. The gameplay of Papers, Please starts off very simply, with you examining the passports and visas of those attempting to enter your glorious country of Arstotzka. The game will quickly pick up, not only in pace but intensity and complexity as well, eventually evolving into passports, work visas, entry tickets, entry visas, diplomatic authorization, grants of asylum, travel visas, identity supplements, access permits, identity cards, or proof of vaccination. All of these documents will quickly overtake your already cramped workspace. As if to make matters any more complex, you must check each of these documents for validity, with birth dates, dates of issuing, places of issue, time to spend in the country, whether or not the document has been forged, and several other aspects of these documents that can make them invalid for entry. Every time that you make a mistake, you get an MOA citation, which quickly becomes one of the most dreaded sounds that will have you tensing up every time you let someone through. The first 2 citations of the day will not dock you any credits, but after the third, it compounds, losing 5 more credits each time you make a mistake. Credits are used to pay for rent, heat, and food, to feed your ever so ungrateful family of 4. I'm looking at you, son. While you can choose to go without food or heat for a day, you run the risk of some of your dependents getting sick, cold, or hungry. And sickness is never good, as it puts a strain on your already limited budget. While you are just a simple border guard, you are tasked with keeping the border safe from terrorists and those who wish to threaten the sovereignty of your great country of Arstotzka. Early in the game, your dower post will be rocked with the first of many terrorist attacks, which brings the first of many different actions for you to take. As the game progresses, you will unlock these different actions, such as detaining, one of my favorite actions in the game.
Detained!
Then come in the X-rays, reasons for denial, tranquilizer guns, and eventually the sniper rifle. All of these tools are at your disposal to keep your glorious country safe. The most unique aspect of the game is the special characters, from the recurring fan-favorite Georgie to the Ezek organization, a shady underground group, to wanted criminals you can catch, to couples that you must be forced to choose whether or not they can stay together or to split their families, and eventually the dreaded border inspector. All of these characters can affect the story in drastic ways, from secret endings to just straight up losing the game. There are tons of different endings to Papers, Please, all achievable by the different decisions that you can make throughout the game. With over 20 endings, I'm not going to list them all here, but they range from your family dying of starvation, to accidentally shooting an innocent, partnering with the Ezek agents, escaping your country, or serving the glorious country of Arstotzka well. Papers, Please is a fantastic indie game with extremely well-crafted gameplay and music that truly puts you in the feel of an authoritarian regime. Papers, Please is truly a timeless game with multiple endings leading to hours upon hours of extremely fun gameplay. All of these reasons compound into why Papers, Please is one of my favorite indie games of all time. Thank you for tuning in to Indiana Jonas. I'm your host, Jonas Pelot, and we'll see you next week.
And we made it to the end of the show. Thanks for watching.
Make sure to ring that bell and subscribe to KNWT as to not miss future episodes as well.
Oh, what's your problem?
I am only doing my job.
That hurt.
I will detain you again. Do not test me.